Hi, Cancer. You are the final Zodiac blessing of August 2019. I started with Leo because it's their birthday month and it seemed appropriate. And yeah, I'm excited to close out with my own sign and see how it goes. But before we do that, let's take our hands together and tap in with each other's energy. So you want your hands, your thumbs to press against your sternum, your chest bone. Your elbows can be out to the side or relaxed down beside you. Sit up nice and tall, head on straight, relaxing into the skeleton, and just breathe deeply. And I want you to imagine your favorite color. It doesn't matter what color it is. It can be sparkly, rainbow, purple, whatever. Good. Then I want you to imagine that color. Sorry, I've been sitting here for a long time. I need to adjust my legs. Imagine that color beaming down as light, coming in through the heart, the forehead, and the crown of the head. Okay, so as you breathe in, imagine that light entering those three centers. Hold your breath and let that light spread throughout your whole body. Then exhale it out onto your fingertips. Inhale deeply. Hold. Exhale out through the nose or the mouth. One more time, breathing in. Hold, letting it spread. And exhale. Good, then we're going to rub our palms together and build some heat into the hands. Then place your hands on your solar plexus. So it's the area right above your navel. It's where your stomach lives. You can imagine the sun, a little sun, inside your belly and your internal sunshine. And this is where your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence, all of that lives, your survival sense. And just tapping in with that. And calling in support so that Cancers are able to spread warmth and shine authentically in a way that supports the highest good. And then take your hands back to the heart space, and I want you to connect to the energy above the crown of your head, your seventh chakra, your I am presence, your higher self. And then imagine that center, your I am self, your higher self, connecting with my higher self, as well as our spirit guides, our well ancestors, our Reiki masters, archangels, highest energy from all corners of the universe, so that we may be supported in finding the words and understanding necessary to bring Cancer into alignment with their highest good, with the highest good. And then when this session is over, we are no longer connected. However, you can call on those higher energies at any time. And to be clear, as the session takes place, I'm not giving any of my personal energy. We're just connecting through a higher energy, higher self energy. All right, namaste. So let's get started. So the Gemini reading was a little goofy, so this one might be a little goofy too, and I apologize, but not really, because it's an offering from my heart, and why would I apologize? Okay. So from the tarot deck, the Ethereal Visions Tarot, what messages do we have for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of August 2019? Oof. These aren't your cards, but there's some drama that needs maybe to be acknowledged. You know, Gemini had similar stuff, but just like getting stuck in the past, some kind of judgment, some holds, of like addictions and bad habits, some endings. Anyway, we got some transition going on, but we know that, right? Cancer. It's not new news. I think all the cancers are going places right now that they're cleaning up some karma that's already in play from the past. And that's okay. Just kind of, you have one foot into the new door and one foot still in the old door, and doing your best to not be stuck. The Page of Cups wanted to come out, but it wasn't necessarily really your card, but this is a blessing for confidence and self-esteem, and just kind of feeling like you should feel good about whatever's coming your way. You should feel good about yourself. Yeah, let's see. All right. I think Cancer just wants a longer reading. Maybe I should shuffle like a real human. The cards are kind of consistent. Okay. There we go. So we have the Page of Pentacles as your card. So there's some reflection going on. Let's see. Comes up in here. I just want to make sure that I give a more... So opportunity, discovery, manifestation, and mastery. Nice. All right, so you're at the beginning of a journey. Where you're kind of, seeing where the opportunities are, honing in on it, planning in on it, but you're not really at the place where like you should be like, this is the thing I'm doing. Like you're still working on it, but this is good. This is good. You have some skills to develop, some mastery to focus on. I like that. I'm a Cancer, so I'm like, okay, cool. Right, so from the chakra deck, any messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of August. I'm dropping the deck a lot. That's just that. From the chakra deck, you got trickery, and there's the squirrel and the dragon. And there's a story about, the squirrel sees one of the dragon's nuts or something, and decides to steal it, and and then the dragon steals it back and gets disqualified from like a contest or something. And basically the idea is like, it doesn't matter. It reminds me of like when you see two people fighting, you don't know who started the fight. Like both the people look like idiots. So the best thing is to not engage, right? Like even if you get tricked into something negative, to not engage, to not let it get you down. And I know for Cancers, we're super, super, super sensitive to feedback, and we're super sensitive to how people interact with us. And like, we know if things hurt us, or, we know if people are upset with us. And I think this message is to just not take the bait. If you see that someone is like, you're starting to actually feel good, and you see that someone's trying to like bring it down, to not engage. And if you do engage, engaging in a way that feels like it's coming from the heart, but like not letting it bring you down, right? Because at the end of the day, the person who's tricking you or like engaging in that behavior is hurting themselves just as much as you. There's no point in really getting into it. It is also a heart chakra card, so it's not backing out of this mastery because in the past, like, it didn't work out because like maybe someone like promised you something and then it didn't happen, or people weren't happy for you or whatever it is. Just not letting any of that get in the way. For the Sacred Rebels deck, we have collaborative dreaming. This is really interesting, at least for me, because a lot of my heartache in self-mastery has come from like collaborations really biting me in the butt and really hurting me and taking a long time to heal from. But it seems like we're getting permission to collaborate. My only thing is this card talks a lot about like, yeah, it's time to collaborate, but can you collaborate without losing yourself in it? So collaborate as a whole person. Make sure that if you're going to collaborate, you've meditated first and you're sure about like who you are, and you're not going to go into this situation to collaborate with someone else and just take on their project or like their perspective. Making sure that you're able to actually be yourself in the situation and to not take from to share the space. So it's like you have 4 whole people each equally putting energy in, rather than you taking it all on as your own, which Cancers can do. It's like that nurturing energy where it's like, oh, I'll just take care of it. No. Sharing the work, but not losing yourself in it. I think this is also, you can be, like if you're a freelancer or something like that, being able to like work solo, but also collaborate, but not necessarily partner, right? Like, so you're not like blending with someone necessarily, but you are working together. You are co-creating. Okay, let's see what else comes. I know for me, there's like all of a sudden a bunch of ways to collaborate with others in a way that just like feels very heart-centered and wonderful. And there's no like alternative objective or anything like that. Or hidden objective. That makes a lot of sense. Because at the end of the day, I really want to focus on what I'm mastering in this life, and getting too wrapped up in my collaborations can be distracting. And to not get tricked into losing yourself in it, I think it's also a good idea. Okay, so what does the goddess have to say? So I stop rambling. To Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I'm so happy that Cancer is the last of these. I love Cancers so much. I love finding out that someone's a Cancer, because it's usually someone that I'm like, oh, they're like pleasant. But sometimes Cancers can be like, kind of cranky. That's always a bummer, but they usually have their reasons. All right. Goddess, what is your message for Cancer this month? Some of the other oracle blessings for this month had some music in the background, but I had to have Wi-Fi on for that to happen, and messages were showing up on the screen, and me being an overly sensitive Cancerian couldn't handle it. All right, so these are not your cards, so they're messages that are necessary for you to just kind of reflect on. Grief is being processed still, so there's something that didn't work out in the past that you still need to deal with, and not just pretend that it didn't bother you. Like, you're still healing from that, and that is okay. You're allowed to heal from that. It doesn't mean that you need to be a victim about it. It doesn't mean you need to bring it up all the time, but be honest with yourself. You are healing. And second is beauty. Seeing all the beauty around you, seeing the beauty that is made possible by whatever this is being released, and that whole process. I know I'm saying goodbye to a lot of things and doing it in a way where it feels very authentic to my process, and maybe I'm making it harder or whatever, but it's how it has to be. But yeah, grief for cancers right now is hella real. I think the most important thing is to keep collecting new experiences, right? Not to hide from it, but to collect it. So Pisces and Leo, I believe, also got this card as their goddess card. So it's Hestia, Hearth and Home. So I really think you are being called to focus within a little bit. Focus on creating some ritual at home, doing some work on your own in the home, creating a more spiritual environment for when you're home so that you can recharge. Like Cancers, you need that solo time to kind of like recharge. Making sure that your home is reflective of what you want to manifest in the world. Not being overly attached to it, but, taking care of it. If there's something out of place, seeing this makes me realize like I need to do my laundry, like, little things that kind of make you feel uneasy because you're very sensitive to this. Your sign is motherly and nurturing, and the home is very important to you. So if you're kind of more nomadic right now, you need to find home in yourself. And how can you do that? Well, I know for me, like having new moon and full moon practices that I do on a regular basis, having a daily mantra practice, I feel home wherever I go. I get more and more cuddly with myself because of it. And yeah, so no matter what, you can find that home, but really kind of focusing on it. Because I was not expecting this card for you, Cancer, because it like didn't seem to be going in that direction. I'm going to read what she has to say, Hestia, because I don't get it. And I'm a Cancer, so I want to know. Okay. Hestia has come to tend her hearth fire in your life and tell you it's time to focus on home. Whether you are living alone, with your family, or with friends, it's time to make your home a priority. Perhaps you are living in a house that is not your home, or with people you don't want to live with. Perhaps your home is filled with so many others that you have no space for your own. Perhaps your life is such a busy whirlwind that your dwelling is not your home, merely a place to change clothes and sleep. Now is the time to come home. Hestia says that wholeness is nurtured when you learn to come home to yourself and then create the appropriate physical manifestation, a home that will nurture you. So maybe for this new moon, an intention to like really, really feel home, to call the energy of feeling at home into your life is going to be productive and helpful for you. And once you have that, I think it's going to be easier for you to focus on this mastery blessing, to move past what's happened in the past that's made you feel like you can't really share your gifts with the world. It's going to make it so that you can collaborate without losing yourself. And it will give you a place where you can do personal ritual and ceremony and whatever you need to like really feel like you're holding space for your own personal growth. Ritual doesn't need to be magic. These are just cathartic things that we do so that we can feel the passing of time, so that we can process things. So like when you burn intentions in a fire, it's not like maybe there's spirits that are like, yeah, this is awesome, and they're like blessing you with things, but really it's just you processing. It's you having some sort of physical activity to show that you are processing the grief that's coming up in your life, that you're letting things go, whatever it is, okay? If you need help creating this home space, reach out to other Cancers or Taurus. Taurus probably isn't going to leave their house to help you, but people who like the home, people who wouldn't mind helping. I know it's hard for Cancers to ask for help, so you'll probably wind up doing it on your own, but you might be might be surprised who is going to come out and help you if you actually put yourself out there, and you don't have to worry about losing yourself. You've learned so much from the past at this point that you're not going to do that again. All right, Cancer, I can go on all day, but I'm going to stop here. I hope that you have the best August ever, that you shine in the things that you've mastered in this life. You've worked really hard, and you're just going to keep mastering them, and to not get too distracted on other people's energy and input, and just really, really coming home to yourself and making sure your home is perfect for you so that you can collaborate and not lose yourself in the process. Namaste. Happy August.